Hello everyone, thank you for turning in. So, I am Professor Dr. Barnali Chaklader. I'm a finance faculty at IMT Ghaziabad, and right now I'm representing IMT Ghaziabad in this Chitchat show. And at IMT, we were formed in 1980, and we are always in the constant process of creating global business leaders in this changing, ever-changing landscape of business environment. So we'll just deep dive into some of the topics today, and which will cover something like about understanding IMT better. But then if you have to understand IMT as a faculty, I don't think I'll be able to explain so much, because you need to interact with the students who are right now on campus, and because they have come here, the reasons for their coming here, and are they happy here, so they'll be the best ones to converse with you. So I have with you Harshvardhan and Jagdish from the student council. So, and then I have Aditya and Arushi from alum committee and Gauri from the placement committee. So that's Aditya. Aditya, just can you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Aditya. I am in the second year. I'm pursuing financial management, and post my IMT, I would like to head towards the finance area as well. And this is a brief about me.
That's great. So, Gauri.
Yes. Hi everyone. So first of all, best of luck for your journey ahead. And I'm Gauri Khandelwal. I interned at Nivea India for my summer internship. I am a marketing student. So it was a sales-based internship, and I was lucky enough to receive a pre-placement offer from that organization, and I aspire to emerge as a leader in sales in my career down the line.
Wonderful. And so Arushi, a brief introduction about yourself.
So, hi guys, I'm Arushi Mathur and I'm pursuing finance at IMT. I interned with Goldman Sachs and I intend to make my career in finance and economics.
Great. So, yes.
Hello everyone, myself Harshvardhan Srivastava, and thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to say our words and tell the people our feelings.
Thank you for joining in. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I hail from the wine capital of India, that's Nashik. I interned at Amazon and I'm a PGDM second year financial management student over here. And I'm also the Chief Secretary of the Student Affairs and Welfare Council here at IMT Ghaziabad.
Yeah, Jagdish.
Hey everyone, it's Jagdish Chandrakumar, and I'm currently pursuing the Banking and Financial Services program. And I come here with the 4 years of work experience as a BIDX faculty, and I'm really grateful for the fact that IMT Ghaziabad has given me this amazing opportunity, and I'm really excited to share my thoughts and my whole experience which IMT Ghaziabad actually nurtured me into being this role.
Thank you very much, Jagdish. So Arushi, I'll start with you. I just mentioned that IMT Ghaziabad was formed in 1980 and we constantly create global leaders. So you being from the alumni committee, so I would like to know more about it. Can you just explain why I said this, or if I said this, doesn't mean that yes, this has to be absolutely the fact. Do you feel it is like this, and why or why not?
So it's definitely like that. So as you've said, we've got more than 40 years of legacy and we've got over 14,000 alumni. So all of them are at a prominent positions across companies like Goldman Sachs, Deloitte, IBM, Reckitt Benckiser. So many companies are there and they all love to come here and contribute as well. And when you actually talk to them, you find out that how they walk this path that we are walking right now and the extent, and they having such a large alumni base, we can see that the impact is staggering, and not just on the industry but also on our college, because they're the ones who come there, groom us so that we can also go places that they're over there.
Okay, Aditya. So you're also from alumni committee. Do you agree to what she said, Arushi said, or you would like to contradict her or maybe add on to something?
I definitely agree that we have a very large alumni base and they do really come and contribute to the college. So for example, adding on to what Arushi said, we have this mentorship program where we connect students directly with the alumni, and in this journey, we are always supported by one of our mentors, who is Mr. Anurag Mathur. He is from Aditya Birla Capital. Likewise, we are well connected with a lot of alumni. They come here for leadership talks, for panel discussions, even for guest lectures, and we also see them in reunions and city meets. So they do contribute a lot to the college.
And just adding on to one part, it's not only about students getting the mentorship, but we also make sure that the alumni are always well placed. So we also have a program called Lifelong Learning Program for alumni, wherein seasoned professionals also come back to the classroom and they're trained by the seasoned, industry experts to actually gain insights into the cutting edge technologies and how they can be integrated into the business. So when we talk about alumni, we don't talk about students only, we talk about alumni learning from the institute as well.
Okay, hold on, Ayushi. What I understand is that when a student joins IMT Ghaziabad, the journey doesn't finish, is not over when the student graduates from IMT Ghaziabad. So it is a lifelong learning, you're saying. So that's great. Now, Gauri, coming to you, this is something I would like to know. This lifelong learning, how is it going to help me? Suppose I decide to join IMT Ghaziabad. I've got offers from, say, XYZ schools, and I get an offer from IMT Ghaziabad. How is it? How can you connect to what Arushi said about lifelong learning program and the students joining and then the career progression, the learning curve, etc. Can you just link?
Sure. So, being from placement committee, I would just like to give an stark example of what the feedback we received from the recruiters. So, we have certain companies, legacy companies coming to campus across the years. And there are certain recruiters, of course, that have been visiting the campus regularly. The feedback recently we received from a prominent organization was, when we were coming 5 years back, the expectations we had from the candidates were very different from what we have today. Due to the advent of AI, ML and related technologies, the roles that are being offered, the expectations, the skills required are completely different in lines to today's requirements. So that is why the lifelong learning that is provided by IMT to even the seasoned career professionals plays a huge role, so that they can stay relevant in the committee, in the industry as well, and they can keep contributing to the corporate environment as a whole and keep growing.
Okay, so Harsh, that's very interesting, Just tell me, what Gauri wanted to say, or probably Arushi or Aditya want to say, is that, as I said, it's a ever-changing business world. It's an ever-changing. It's a business dynamism, It keeps on changing, evolving. So that means whatever skill sets you are learning, say at IMT right now, and when you graduate, that may not be valid when you enter the corporate world. We saw that things really change. AI comes and then everything keeps on changing. So, but then we are always there to handhold you. You can always come back to us and then relearn the latest skill sets, etc. Does that excite you?
Absolutely, ma'am. So I would like to quote a saying which is as follows: that change is the only constant in the world. And I think we have seen our own college embrace that perfectly. Ma'am, coming on to how the hand-holding has been proceeding continuously throughout, we can go back to our times when we just joined the college.
Yeah.
So for example, to understand the ever-changing world, we need to actually know what's happening in it right now. During our foundation course itself, we had a subject called as the case learning pedagogy, wherein we were given the real life cases and explain how the actual business problems were tackled. Throughout our curriculum, we have always focused on the real time learning and real cases to be solved. I think, man, this creates a mindset in all the students that for you to actually go into the corporate, there will be a lot of business problems you will face, and to tackle them. So there are two aspects to it. One, you can use historical data and whatever you have learned in the college, or secondly, you can use the network connect, which my colleagues just mentioned, or also the professor connect you maintain at IIM. We have varied professors which have always helped me personally out through any kind of problems. Even during my SIPs, ma'am, any kind of issues I had a direct contact with my industry mentor as well as my industry professor.
Something very interesting, Jagdish. Harsh mentioned about case learning pedagogy, and he spoke of something called foundation program. So foundation is I believe because students are from different streams, you see. So some are from, say, coming from IT, some may be commerce students, some may be engineers, some may be even biotech, and some may be even from English literature or other literature subjects. So you see, you have a mixed pool, a diverse pool. So why we have this this foundation program is because then you all join before your term 1, and all of you have this kind of foundation courses such as Excel and then statistics, etc. And what actually Harsh mentioned was about case learning pedagogy and case cracking pedagogy, case discussion. This is very important. So cases we normally teach in classrooms also, but what I want to know from you, Jagdish, is through this case learning classrooms discussions, how did it help you enter into the various kinds of national and international case competitions that IMT students keep on participating and winning also? And so both of you, Harsh and Jagdish, first Jagdish, you can answer us, probably you can talk to us, is that how does it help? Say for example, for about you attended about say 15 hours of case learning workshop. How did it help you crack the cases in different competitions and then winning the cases, or say reaching up to the national finalists, and then subsequently how did it help in your career?
So starting off with how that particular whole case learning pedagogy course had modeled the students and made them brave enough to actually target various case competitions, and case competitions which are conducted by trainer-based schools first, and case competitions which are released by the legacy companies which keep coming to IMT Ghaziabad. So we have had multitude of winners, national finalists and PPA converts, such as from case competitions such as the Colgate Ranson, the Perfetti PGDM Petty Case Challenge, and we also had Airing Their Sword case competition winners, and we had a very completely new, that is Samagra. We had national finalists for Samagra, which is the government's challenge, which is trying to create an impact into the society through policy-driven changes. And we had national finalist winners from Art Polish for that particular case competition, where the winners are going to present their solutions in front of Honorable Sri Yogendra Akhyanath and his cyber visionaries as well. I think that is what happened in this November. And I believe that the whole journey in that particular foundation program had actually modeled us through the submissions, the presentations which the faculties help us go through, and they'll give the relevant feedback in that particular classroom in front of everybody, and that itself is a huge plus point and bonus for everybody who are attending this particular foundation.
Yes, Jagdish. Thank you, Jagdish. From you, Harsh, I would like to know is that something like you attended. He mentioned about a couple of case study competition. Could you little bit elaborate on it and name a couple of competitions where the students have been finalists as well as won the competition? Jagdish has mentioned, but yes, some, if you can categorize some of the national competitions, some of the international competitions, whether the students have got PPI, PPOs through that, and what kind of support did they get from the institute?
Okay. So ma'am, firstly I would like to start with saying that I do resonate with each and everything my colleague here has just said. Secondly, ma'am, I also enrolled into the case learning pedagogy, and just 2 months next to it, there was the Amazon ACE, the Amazon Customer Excellence Challenge, which I did crack, and I did land my summer internship through that.
Very good.
Okay.
Congratulations. That's great.
So as I entered into Amazon, the foundation for me cracking that case was built through what we learned in that CLP, the case learning pedagogy classes, and subsequently. So just to give an example, we have Professor Harsimran Sandhu here, and he was kind enough to give me his the timings of his busy day to help me through that case competition, and his guidance and his continuous support did help me crack that case. to talk about other case competition, and recently the first years which recently joined the college, they did not even just emerge as the national finalists, but they were the national winners of the Colgate Transcend competition this year itself, 2024. Man, these first years were also so both the second year, that's the senior batch, as well as the professors helped them throughout their case. Ma'am, for example, the marketing professor, Professor Gurpreet Singh, also gave them a lot of heads up about how they should proceed with the case and what kind of business insights he, through his corporate career earlier, could bring into the whole scenario. Similarly, ma'am, if you talk about finance, then IMT Ghaziabad has also emerged as winners of plenty of the CFA research challenge as last year itself, and they were again headed by Professor Harsimran Sandhu as well as Professor Arit Chaudhary. So both of them were kind enough, or rather helpful enough towards the students.
Yeah, that is one good thing, right? I think IMT has a blend of professors. I mean, with professors with blend of industry as well as academic experience, right? So, does it help you in any way, like being a student, having professor in classroom who has a good blend of industry and academic experience? And I believe IMT Ghaziabad, the professors have done very good research. They continuously keep on doing research and have publications in the best of journals in the world. How does it help you as a student, Aditya?
So, ma'am, I recognize the importance of having faculties with relevant industry experience when I was doing my internship. So, I was at a wealth management firm, which is Nuvama Wealth, and I stumbled upon a topic which I didn't know at that time, because wealth management was covered later on. And as already highlighted by my colleagues, that our faculties do always help. So, I rang up Harsimran sir, and he knew exactly what the problem was, and I got a quick solution to it, and I also got to learn a lot. Similarly, I had the opportunity to learn from Arit sir, and he has a lot of experience with portfolio management, and even in the classes also he was explaining us a theory as well as what is being there done in the industry. So it has really helped me about how to even do my projects, how to adapt to the industry standards, what to learn, what to expect from the job role that I'm headed towards. So it really helps having faculty with a lot of industry experience and the research also, because you get to learn a lot of theories that have and how they're evolving. So that way it's quite helpful.
Great, wonderful, got it. From you, I would like to know, since you have people from alum and they said they have notable alumni, and IMT, of course, we are 40 plus years of existence, etc. is there. So I just wanted to know whether there is a connect between the placement committee and the alumni committee, and how do the alumni help in our placements also? Can I just be a little bold and say, yes, we are privileged because we are 1980 born, and we are privileged because we have alums who are CFOs, CEOs and CXOs, and we get help in our placements. Can I say that?
So, ma'am, of course, most of it you said, I do agree with it. And of course, we are privileged, but I would also like to mention that we deserved that position. We created that position for ourselves in the industry. Our alums, they have went ahead in organizations. They have worked, they have outperformed their colleagues from other institutes and created that name of IMT in the corporates, wherein now we have a privilege that if an alum is there at a CFO position and they recommend IMT, the corporate acknowledges it, the corporate values it, and the corporate would like to associate with IMT. So that is, of course, up on the basis of the case learning pedagogy, the professors, the other benefits that IMT has to offer, be it its student-run committees, the management opportunities we get overall, and a lot of factors come into play for our alums and for us to become whoever we are today. So
yeah, so isn't it easy for you to connect to a particular alum and say that yes, the placement season is starting and why don't you join in? Isn't it much more comfortable? And as it is, some of them are so senior, they and we have so many entrepreneurs also. So they have their own startups, and some of these startups are doing very well. They're planning to go for IPOs also. So how does it feel about it? Like, how is it going to benefit IMT? What I'm trying to say is that, our existence, legacy, as Arushi said, how is it going to help us, right?
So definitely, I believe that our alum base is extremely helpful to us, be it the case of last year wherein the market nationally and internationally was suffering and there weren't many opportunities available. However, in times like these, tough times like these, our alums were the ones who came through. They provided us with new opportunities, new doors opened from great organizations across industries, be it IT, FMCG or ops. Everywhere our alums have a great presence, and their help in extreme situations also help the current students from our campus. So I think also our alums being extremely welcoming towards us, having a great connect due to alumni relations committee as well. They are open to provide opportunity to the students. So.
Yeah, that's great. I'll come back to placement, Gauri. I'll come back to you. But I would now like to ask Jagdish and Harsh, tell us something about, when a student comes here, so how do you groom a student? I'm talking not talking from the point of view of classroom grooming. It's the classroom discussion, etc. Apart from that, what do you guys do outside the classroom? So what kind of discussions do you have when you are having dinner? Or what kind of discussions do you have when you are at the amphitheater, a very favorite spot of all the students? Or how does IMT help in your overall grooming? You can talk about the different clubs and committees that you have. What do you all do? I'll come to the life at IMT later, but a little bit to start with.
Okay. So the one statement which IMT is extremely famous for is that IMT never sleeps. And when a student recently joins this college, it is felt from day one, or rather I'd say night one. Night is the time actually where this is the time when you come towards in front of your life and rather look at it with an eagle's eye view that what you actually want to do in college. Now people do come to an MBA or a postgraduate to have an overall learning experience, which is then again enhanced by the network you build around IMT Ghaziabad. Ma'am, just for outside the classroom or rather non-academic learning, there are plenty of clubs and committees in this college. So there are 22 clubs/committees in this college and one council, and all of us together we work towards the betterment of the college, as it's a very student-run institute, as mentioned by my colleague over here. So ma'am, all these things overall, they help nurture you, they help groom you into a confident person, or rather a person who's actually ready to take on the corporate life and win it, rather I say.
To add it to what my colleague had just mentioned, in short, every one particular person graduating from IMT Ghaziabad would end up being a high-functioning individual who would outshine in front of the colleagues coming from various tier 1 world.
High-functioning individual. So when a student graduates from IMT Ghaziabad, he or she becomes a high-functional individual. Very interesting. Could you elaborate on it, please?
So your schedule initially starts with 9 a.m. in the morning with classes, and it goes on till 6 p.m. at times, and sometimes the second years, their schedule will go on till 9 p.m. because of the visiting packer pays over time. So post 9 p.m. is when people who are part of clubs and committees engage in the particular tasks which are being dedicated to them by the respective club and committee, and that's when they brainstorm and try to complete their task, because in end of the day, it's one particular goal of each and every club and committee to get that legacy going on, and it's a huge churning activity which keeps on going every day. So to overcome that particular task, which is responsibility which is given to them, they have to make sure that they come together and work as a unit, and that happens only in the nights. Sometimes it goes on till 4 a.m. in the morning, sometimes it goes on till 5 a.m. in the morning. My colleague from placement committee herself would actually attest to this, that they work late and they work overnight and make sure that the company is a company house.
So, I mean, but how is it grooming you as an individual? Do you do some kind of, so is it something about functionality? So, if you are an active member of a club and committee, do you think you will be a better person to adjust or adapt to a corporate world?
Yes, ma'am, because these long hours which you are putting yourself through, that is one important thing which everybody has to keep testing themselves, because in the corporate world, there might be at times where you need to work beyond the work hours. It's maybe out of their own interest, and if you need to do that and you need that particular platform where you already test yourself to see if you're capable to do that. And IMT Ghaziabad and these project committees give you that opportunity to make sure that yes, you can perform at that particular level. And at the same time, the fact that you're able to brainstorm beyond your work hours or beyond the capable minimum threshold which you've already put in for that particular day, that in itself is enough for that particular individual to prove himself that yes, if I go into the corporate world tomorrow, day after tomorrow, Saturday, I can actually out and out about equally. So
I understand your point of view. Yes, Jagdish. Arushi, so you are a member of alumni committee. So you are a member of a committee, right? How does it help you, or say if you compare yourself when you entered this college and today when you are in year 2? So do you think that you have become a better decision maker because you have been a part of this committee?
Yes, definitely. The main thing is that alumni relationship committee, being part of the committee, it gives me the confidence. So after being talking to like so many people, especially such senior alumni, you get a confidence that yes, I can make a good decision and I can also put my point, across, because we've got a lot of people. We've got to make decisions. We've got to debate on who's right and what should be done. So once you're there, you're able to, communicate. You're able to put your point forward. You're actually gaining that confidence that whatever decision I'm taking, it's going to be the right one, and I'm responsible, and I'm actually going to take accountability for it. So that's where, not only in terms of getting the academics point of view, but it grooms me as a person, that yes, I have the knowledge that I gained from the classroom, but I also have the personality that the committee gave.
Okay, so I want to ask you, Harsh, is as a member of student council, you have a big responsibility of preparing a budget for all the clubs and committees, and then allocating budgets, financing, getting approval, etc. So do you feel that yes, that has, and since you're doing financial management also, so does that help you? Has it helped you in evolving as a better corporate manager, I would say, or to prepare? Has it prepared you for the future role, corporate role?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, being a member of the student council, the student council in IMT Ghaziabad, they act as an overarching body over other clubs and committees, and they also act as a liaison, or rather a bridge between the students, clubs and committees, as well as the administration. Ma'am, we do overlook the budget, and also I would like to say that the college is kind enough to allocate budgets to different clubs and committees because it wants to enhance the students actually doing such particular things, or rather conducting such events inside the campus, wherein the lives could be much better for the students. Would you like to add something on this?
I would like to add on to this particular fact that how IMT Ghaziabad in itself supports students and rather acts as a bridge between the academic curriculum and the dynamic markets which are constantly evolving every day. So right from the library where we're currently sitting, the online database which has been provided for the students, and the fact that the library houses the Center for Financial Markets, which has 12 Bloomberg terminals, which constantly helps students to track the markets and include the inputs in their particular projects which they're planning to push forward to. And also the fact that the faculties, which my colleagues have already addressed, it isn't stopped there. The fact that even the housekeeping staff have helped the students in the primary research to actually devise a particular policy for the competition which I mentioned, the Samagra. Such particular inputs, such minor inputs, when you include them as a whole, have actually enhanced the students' output. And when we put that beside the particular competitions, the projects and the presentations from other tier 1 colleges, nothing can match that. And that's one reason why we have a team which is currently going to present in front of this current Chief Minister of UP.
Okay, that's wonderful. And how many clubs are there and how many committees are there?
So ma'am, in IMT Ghaziabad there are 11 clubs and there are 11 committees.
So that's great. So, we have got very important clubs and committees, and all are very important, and we all contribute to the growth life of a student at IMT Ghaziabad. So, Gauri, I want to ask you, tell us, not from an angle of a student, placement committee member, but tell us, how is the life of a student at IMT Ghaziabad, starting from 6 a.m. to I think 3 a.m. that they were mentioning?
So life of a student at IMT Ghaziabad is of course full of hustle, that is for sure. But I would say it's a very enriching hustle, a hustle you would want to go for. It evolves you every day, as Jagdish also mentioned. So I like to quote one of the instances. The students at IMT Ghaziabad are so knowledge driven and so practically they are inputting everything they are learning in classes that we have a tea stall right across our college, and that particular man is, I believe, 10th or 12th pass himself. But once a student goes there and let's say a friend is ordering the tea and the next friend is not ordering something, he offers the friend who is not ordering something a free toffee, and he calls it customer experience. So
That's very interesting.
Stall vendor is working every day with this student. He is evolving. He is also letting us learn a few things. So I think a student at IMT Ghaziabad is extremely, as Jagdish mentioned again, highly functional and evolving every day with experiences.
Okay, what do the students do at 2 o'clock when it is not examination time? 2 a.m. I'm talking of.
So of course it is parties at times, and mostly now we see that since case competitions the importance of case competitions have increased over the few years, and IMT is making a great embark on that particular landscape. So case discussions I have seen have been going around across rooms. You walk across the corridors and you see different people discussing different case competitions, what's going on, quizzes, etc. So all are the discussions that can help them to crack those competitions.
Okay, Aditya, honestly, these are the academic discussions, all related to knowledge and all. Apart from that, what are the other what do you actually discuss when you are with your peer group? What do you discuss on dinner table? So is it always academics or say current affairs, or you discuss movies also, or something else? So how do you spend your time? I would, as a faculty, I would like to know more about what all you do inside the campus.
Apart from academics, it's a lot more about friendships. So the kind of friendships you have at IMT, they are long lasting. You'll be friends, you'll be connected, and you'll actually, when you become an alumni, we've heard this from a lot of alumni that they are able to realize the network value of the friends that they make. So the whatever conversations you're having on your dinner table, or it's at 2 a.m. in all of our rooms, so it basically contributes to that. And apart from academics, we also engage on other activities, like we take up short-term projects, or we have some group project, or we have some competition. So those are the kind of discussions that we have. And yes, apart from that, there's fun also. We plan out like, okay, we have some free time, so maybe go for a trip. And we're in Delhi, so it's a lot of good places close by and so on. But I would like to end by saying that whatever the friendships, the studies, academic projects they do, they add to the network value, which a student will realize when he is in the corporate maybe 5-10 years later. And the kind of network and kind of referrals and connections one makes is long lasting and is very beneficial.
Yeah. So, the good thing, are you connected with your alums on LinkedIn?
Yes, ma'am. So, maybe not only just because I'm part of alumni committee, but also if even a regular student they see what companies there and what kind of alumni are there, and then they send a request, then they seek their guidance. And also from our perspective, we also try to connect students with alumni so that they are able to seek guidance from them. But yes, everybody connects with alumni on LinkedIn and sees where one is placed.
Yes. Yes, please.
Clubs and committees also play a very huge role into getting the students connected with their respective alums. Specific to the clubs and committees I'm talking about, because over here you get to have this database, or rather harness this power of all the people who have enrolled in your particular club and committee before you joining them. So this is where the alums are also easier to reach. This could span over all the clubs and committees in IMT Ghaziabad. So it's a very good setting point for these clubs and committees to work together as a unit.
Absolutely. And Arushi, I was just thinking of it. Suppose I connect to one alum as a student, I'm automatically getting access to his or her entire network, And then the network again, if one of them connects, then I'm actually having access. So this is I think, what you spoke about legacy. So this is what is going to help. My 44-year-old means batch, now I'm just getting, connecting, and then it's a kind of chain reaction, isn't it?
Exactly. So the mentorship program that we have, right? So you get one-on-one interaction with the alumni. Now suppose you want to build a career in some other pathway, and that alumni has a friend who is in that career. So that alumni will connect you to another person. So you're talking to them, and then that person will tell, I also had my senior from whom I gained mentorship. So maybe you can get in touch with him. So you're connected to the third alumni. And this is how the chain builds. And you at the center, you can connect with all of them, get those diverse insights, and then decide where I want to go into that career and move on that path. So yes, it definitely builds a chain.
Absolutely. Can you name a few notable alumni of IMT Ghaziabad?
This year's convocation of the batch of 2022 and 2024, one of the most notable alumni is Mr. Vaibhav Thambe. He is the founder of Trans BNK, and fortunately they have pulled through last year and recruited on the campus for the first time, and I have entered there and I've received the PPO from that particular company as well, and I'm really grateful for that particular person to have actually started this company in the name of Trans BNK out of all the experience which I had enriched on, and the IMT Ghaziabad which has given him that particular experience as a starting point in his career. And that I cannot say more than anything, and I'm really grateful to that.
Yeah, Vaibhav, I remember I had taught him financial accounting. Yeah. So actually, alums, they keep coming back and then meeting us. That's wonderful. So, shall we talk a little bit about our SIPs and summer internship projects, and also about our placements, Gauri? So, could you tell us a little bit about what the SIP process, what kind of SIP process we have here at IMT Ghaziabad, and also the placement process, what kind of support the students get in terms of training and other things related to your placements?
Right. So I would like to answer it by breaking it down into 2-3 parts. First, strictly talking about industries. So what we have observed through experience is that, let's say, IT industry, most of the companies have a very strict process. So they don't usually indulge in group discussions. What they do is they have an assessment followed by peers, technical peers, personal interviews, and then managerial interviews. In contrast to FMCG industry, wherein a group discussion, a chairman group discussion, or a normal group discussion is a mandate. Those set of skill set is required for them to consider a candidate eligible for their organization, and the selection process varies across industries. Talking about summer internships, so usually the process is followed. There is profile screening of candidates as per the eligibility criteria provided by the company, followed by group discussion or case discussion, followed by personal interviews, managerial interviews. In certain organizations, there is cognitive assessment, psychometric assessment. There is LIDI based assessment. So that is on the basis of requirements. Final placement processes is quite similar. But what we observe is, in final placement processes, there is a highly likely a chance that every company now wants to take a psychometric assessment, because cultural fitment has become an extremely important deal for any company in this day and age, and they don't want to miss out on that. And a personal interview is to short of a duration to judge a candidate of a cultural fitness. So these assessments really help the organizations.
Okay, that's great. And what kind of support do the students get? Say, do they get any kind of training to prepare themselves and crack the placement interviews? So are there trainings that are given by, say, IMT Ghaziabad?
Yes. So IMT Ghaziabad indulges in year-round training. Of course, first-hand training comes from professor itself, but we also have third-party bodies that have connect with industry professionals, highly seasoned industry professionals from other institutes as well, that conduct training of students across different round of processes that they might have to go through. So we have a different body altogether that comes with seasonal professionals that take technical and functional interview of students. Then a different body for HR interview or general interview.
So you want to the mock interviews?
Correct.
Mock interviews. Okay.
To prepare them to the fullest, then there is feedback provided by those mentors wherein they can perform better, what they are doing right, what they are not doing right, how they can evolve themselves. Then there is feedback provided on how they need to present themselves, body language. So from very small aspects to very big aspects that can affect their placements, these external bodies are helping and training each and every candidate of IMT Ghaziabad to perform to the fullest.
Adding on to that, we also have year-round leadership talks and fireside chats. So while they don't tell you exactly on the body language, but they build a mindset. So that mindset is something that you use in the interviews. They tell you about different, topics, different aspects, different, trends that we can be that are being observed in the industry. So once the student gets to know that, they build a mindset, they build a way of thinking of how to approach questions, how to approach topics, and that is something that happens year round. So when the actual placement comes, you're fully prepared, not just with the interviews and how you have to behave, but also on what you have to say in those interviews. So that is something that happens.
Yes. This mindset that she's talking about is very important. So it's not about knowledge and knowing about the subjects and current affairs. So this is very important. Mindset is very important.
Yes. So apart from the dedicated third-party body which takes care of the placement training program and the LTs and fireside chats, the student council along with other clubs and committees also conduct a 3-day personality development program, which is the first thing which they're initially exposed to when it comes to grooming sessions, wherein there are two things. First, we make sure that the groups of first years are made in a very rational way, wherein you include people with work experience and people in freshers or people from engineering background or non-engineering background, so that they are collectively brainstorming together with multiple opinions from each and every other end. Secondly, when it comes to second years, who are the mentors who are acting over there? We choose the mentors who are placed in prolific companies in the initial negative week or the placement week, so that they give the best feedback from that particular corporate experience they have received in the 2 months, and they could enhance the particular students who are coming and having the doubts in them, clear the doubts in them, because that is the first. This happens in the second month, the moment they enter into IMT Ghaziabad, and generally the placements and the SIPs would be happening post that. So that would be a very enriching experience for them, directly opening a channel to the seniors so they could realize that, oh, this is the senior. If I have a particular company coming from, I could reach out to them immediately. So we make sure that the channel is open directly for the first years and second years, so that they can get that particular feedback or get the inputs for that particular company, which is going to come 2 weeks or 3 weeks ahead.
But it's continuous grooming, right? So that's not one day affair that you finish it off. Right, very good. So I wanted to know a couple of notable alumni also.
So first of all, we have Nilendra Singh. He's the MD of Adidas India. That is one company that I think we've all associated ourselves with. We also have Mr. Anurag Mathur. He's the head of cross-institutional cell at Aditya Birla Capital, and he's one alumni who's been closely connected with us, and he also participates in the mentorship program. He acts as a mentor in chief actually, so he's constantly connected with how the program is happening. We also have, Sinayan Mitra. He is associated with Nestle. We also have Deepak Mangla. He's at a very senior position at JP Morgan Chase. So we've got a lot of alumni. We've got Mr. Ankit Agarwal, who's the, founder of Unstopped. So we've got a range of alumni across industries. They're entrepreneurs, they're CXOs, they're at amazing positions, and they're all very welcoming to, fellow IMTians.
If you're talking about entrepreneurs, how can we forget Mr. Dharmil Sheth, who was actually the founder of Farm Easy back in 2013 batch of IMT Ghaziabad?
Yes, 2013. I think, yes, of course. So, Aditya, I was just thinking, you mentioned about the discussions on the dinner table, etc. So, do your friends or your peer group sometimes say that, yes, I want to be an entrepreneur? Does it ever happen, or they say that, no, I want to join the corporate world only?
Yes, ma'am, these conversations do happen. Like my friends, they have interest in starting their own business or expanding their own family businesses. So yes, I have a lot of friends.
Okay, they want to start something of their own also sometimes.
Yes, ma'am.
So does IMT Ghaziabad, do they get any kind of support from IMT Ghaziabad while they are pursuing their PGDM?
Yes, ma'am. We at IMT Ghaziabad, there is an incubation center, and also ECEL is also there. And also heading to the incubation center is Mr. Chandraban sir, who is actually an alumni of IMT Ghaziabad. And not to mention, already my colleague mentioned about Mr. Vijay, who's the founder of Trans BNK. He is the founding member of ECEL as well. So there's you could also say there's a legacy of this entrepreneurial spirit in the college, and where people do pitch their ideas, get incubation, get guidance, and also they get funding. There are opportunities. There are events where even one of our faculties is also aligned in this area. Mr. Puneet Gupta is more into venture capital and private equity, but he also has interest and participates in these events. So there is a good culture around entrepreneurship as well.
Okay, that sounds interesting. So you have some students who want to be entrepreneurs. That's great, and we have courses also in entrepreneurship, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. We do have multiple courses to teach entrepreneurship per se. And we also have few of the strategy courses which involve us to actually have a simulation going on wherein an actual business or rather a startup is supposed to be a device. To add on to the courses and how it's helping, so we have a colleague of ours whose name is Mr. Vishal Chander. So he already has started a small business from his own hometown of exporting fox nuts. So I do believe that these courses are helping the people develop an entrepreneurship or skill or mindset.
Great. This again coming back to mindset. That's wonderful. This is how we are, mindset development is very important. So another question I wanted to ask, is really coming in my mind, is that when I was talking to all of you, I felt there's a lot of work. And as she said, a lot of hustles, etc. So how do you balance that? How do you create that work-life balance at IMT Ghaziabad?
So ma'am, work-life balance per se at IMT Ghaziabad is a luxury. People have to work a lot. Obviously, if you are coming to a B school, then you do have to get this kind of confirmation inside your own self that you have to work a lot. But ma'am, secondly, we can all say that all work, no play makes Jack a dull boy. Wherein I would like to talk about the various sports conducted here at IMT Ghaziabad and how also even IMT is nurturing the sporting capabilities of its own students. We have 10 plus sports being played on a regular basis. I mean, the table tennis, all the table tennis, the tables, obviously, they are obviously very difficult to come by because of all the people always playing on them. We also have an integration with All India Football Federation here at IMT Ghaziabad and specifically towards the NCR region. So all these things together, and as well as the networking opportunities my friend mentioned and the dinner table conversations we have, because at last we are all humans. People do find their own means of fun. They do have singing sessions, a lot of choruses happening, and as the placement season is going by,
I think yoga, and then you have a gymnasium also here.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Yoga is conducted.
Meditation sessions also happen. So you have a in-house counselor, Oh yeah, so you can always visit them. That's also there. So wonderful. And apart from that, a lot of, you talking to peers means, it's just venting out a lot of things. So that also eases life. That's wonderful. That is the advantage of having a good batch of students. You become like a family here, isn't it? So would you like to, that my last question, or rather not question, would you like to comment a little more about the placement, and then maybe we can wind up?
So, talking about placements at IMT, I think the market is becoming tougher and tougher day by day. The number of applicants that are appearing for CAT, then the number of seats across a B school, the competition is becoming rigorous. However, the best part about IMT is we are able to cope up with it, we are able to keep up with it, and we are also able to emerge out of it with success. So placements at IMT includes companies visiting us from different sectors of the industry. As I said, IT, FMCG, operations, logistics, BFSI, finance. So there is a lot in the bucket. And due to the presence of IMT in the industry for 4 decades, almost 4 decades, we have embarked such a name in all industries that major leaders, I would say, be it Microsoft, be it Google, be it Marico, or Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, all of these recruiters do consider IMT as a valuable institute for their future talent as well. So for anybody coming at IMT, I can assure there is a bright future, and they can embark their journeys in the dream companies that they might associate themselves right from their undergrad, college, or even their school. So I think placements at IMT do have a lot of positive scope.
Yeah, so Gauri, as you know, like you said, they have a lot of trust and they come back to IMT. That's because our alums have been working there, and as you said, they have been doing well, giving good feedback about the institute and the quality of students. That helps a lot.
Correct.
Age matters. Age matters.
Definitely.
Yeah. Age matters, right? So, it was great talking to you. I didn't even realize that so much of time has passed. Do you feel I have asked everything, or you have shared everything that you wanted to share with me or with these prospective students? Or you think there are a lot more?
Ma'am, I would like to say that obviously we have covered multitude of aspects over here, and it was a very lively and fun conversation for you to ask us such questions, or rather the doubts which the viewers might have. But I would also like to say that there are plenty of things, so you can definitely reach out to.
Plenty of things. I will cut her share, and plenty of things means that we need to have another chat show. So therefore, we'll conclude the first part of the chat show, and we'll see you again. Do write in comment section whether you want more chat shows from us. Thank you very much.